night, oats are a time-saving breakfast option.
No. Even poha, upma, idli, dosa are time saving. It's just that no one sold those to you as time saving.
You know, I've never consulted or spoken to a nutritionist.
Good.
I have.
Bach gayi.
No, but I feel like I should have, because all the decisions, like the food decisions that I make, are on my own, or I've read it somewhere, or I've only read about how I should stop eating maida and sugar and gluten and carbs and everything, and you're
Rice
good.
and,
But recently I've realized that I can eat everything except the maida part. I can eat everything if I do it in portion control and work out enough. Is that true?
So I'm going to give you like a quick tip on how do you figure that all the advice that you hear on social media or from friends, how do you know that it's good for you? So there are two important tests, okay? One is the language test. The language is that the food that is good for you should have a name in your local language or the regional language, because you know, as an actor you travel. You know, we are living in a time of climate crisis. We need to make sure that our food is ecologically sensitive. Basically, we need to eat within our ecological means. So if food has a name only in English, then it's not good for you. It's mostly just a trend. But if food has a name in your local language, then it's traditional, it's time tested, it's coming in the right combinations, proportions, portions in the right season. You can eat it and flourish. And the other test, which is also similar to the language test, is the Grandmom Test. You know, you always think of what is it that your grandmom would think if she saw you eating this kind of food. Because our grandmothers represent love, nurture, and wisdom in our life. If they think that they're doing something, that you're doing something wrong, and if they cannot recognize the food that you're eating, whether it is seed water or whether it is like an avocado toast or whether it is a chia seed pudding or some yogurt or whatever, then you don't eat it. You eat food that is familiar to your grandmom, because then it fits your inheritance of the gut bacteria also. Then you begin to actually realize that your metabolism also thrives, that it no longer is sluggish or slow, because you're no more confused.
Wow, I have never heard of this in my life because of the language test
Yes.
that you said. Does quinoa have a Hindi name?
It
If it
doesn't.
doesn't, then I am doing something wrong.
I know.
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
So I should then not eat quinoa?
Quinoa, avocado, kale, rucola, asparagus, oat milk, all of these are things which do not
And this is everything that I want to eat, and like I've been like
aspire to eat. Okay, I'm telling you one more test which I wrote about in the book also. It's called the Bangkok-Boston-Bangalore formula. Okay, so if there is any food which you get in all three cities, Boston, Bangkok, Bangalore, it is known by the exact same name. So like quinoa is known by the exact same name in all of these places. If it's eaten for the exact same benefits, then you're better off not eating it.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you're saying I should stick to my roti, rice, dal, sabzi.
Roti, sabzi, dal, chawal, mango in the season of mango.
Yeah.
You know.
I have a very complicated relationship with food. I have very slow metabolism and I love food. I love eating. And because of my profession, I have to look a certain way. I have to maintain a certain body figure, which is fine. Like it's
an occupational hazard.
It's okay, and I accept it and I love it. Let's say like today I've eaten more than 1500 calories. The next day it shows on my body and my face. So which is why like I'm trying this only 1500 calories or eating in portion control.
There is no such thing as slow metabolism, okay? We are all born with a certain metabolism, we die with it. If we don't eat adequate number of plain calories, then our metabolism can actually slow down to help us survive and get by. But what we want is to thrive and not just survive. So we must make a shift from thinking fewer calories into more nutrients for every calorie that I eat. We get a complicated relationship with food only when we think that if I deprive myself, I will look like this. And because of the deprivation, we keep ourselves away from food that belongs to our heritage, from food that is tasty, from food that has good texture and satiety, and we only sign up for eating food that makes us feel punished for having slow metabolism.
I also go through this thing called stress a lot. Like I get anxious almost every day, once a day, and that turns into either me binge eating or munching, or sometimes if I'm too stressed, I don't eat at all. What is it that I can do to avoid that?
Eat in a manner without second guessing your quantities, because I think one of the things that I have seen is that most girls that I'll work with are always anxious that they're eating too much. So they eat lesser at one time only to binge eat later. And then they feel that they've eaten too much. So they must now wash their sins by again eating much lesser.
Yes.
And then it's like that whole cycle.
Yeah.
And now there is a term for it. It is now recognized as a food disorder. It's called the binge eating disorder. And the binge eating disorder mostly has young girls who go through binge eating disorders. The first thing you should do is give yourself the permission to eat, depending on the role that you are on the kind of set that you are on.
Yeah.
And your appetite will vary. Sometimes you'll be hungrier than usual. Sometimes you may want lesser quantities. So just go with that, okay? The other thing is that for snacks, have a plan in place. So a good plan is a fresh fruit or a seasonal fruit, a handful of nuts like peanuts, and if you tend to get stressed or anxious, then cashews. You know, cashews is something which will keep the anxiety down and will ensure that you're not overeating at the next meal.
Meal prep is not suitable for Indian weather.
I think is not good for any weather. You know, what we actually need are gender neutral kitchens so that we are all able to cook, clean, prep and enjoy food as a family.
Overnight oats are a time-saving breakfast option.
No. Even poha, upma, idli, dosa are time saving. It's just that no one sold those to you as time saving.
So, but eating overnight oats are a good
So
option.
you tell me a name for overnight oats in
the same
Hindi,
Yeah,
Marathi.
okay.
Okay.
Got it.
Yeah.
When you're in your 20s, you can eat anything and get away with it.
Yes. And and you must learn that you can actually get away eating whatever you want in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 70s and well into 90s, you know. But appetite is a moving entity, and it is actually your strength to be able to eat and digest anything that you want in your 20s. By the time you're in your 80s, if you can still eat that vada pav, you've lived a good life.
Oh, that's actually a great way to put it. You can binge eat if you fast the next day.
You should not fast, nor should you be, binging and cleansing is the worst thing that you can ever do to your gut and to your brain.
That's what I do. I think I told you this before, that if I've eaten junk food, the next day I go on a detox liquid diet to clean that. That's wrong.
No. It is like being on a rebound, you know. So if we don't change from within, even our next relationship is the exact same toxic boyfriend. So we have to change from inside so that we get onto a loving, nurturing relationship, whether it is with a person or with our food plate.
Okay. That's one nice way to put it.
Thank you.
Salad is a good low-calorie option.
No, salad is a part of Indian meals. Salads in India are koshambir and kachumbar, and as a part of a full thali of cooked meal, and by full thali I don't mean the thali that you get in a restaurant but at home, you know, which has roti, sabzi, dal and some kachumbar. In that sense they are very great, but in replacement of roti, sabzi or dal, chawal, salads are not good.
Okay.
Because it's a salad now, chips later. Waiting for the scale to tell you that you're doing good is like waiting for your toxic boyfriend to tell you that you look good.